What's up guys, and welcome to our first realistic career mode on the brand new franchise FC24. After an incredibly successful partnership between EA and FIFA that lasted just shy of 30 years, the two giants decided to go their separate ways, and so I bring you my first video on the eagerly anticipated FC24. Firstly, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Junior and I've posted FIFA and now EAFC content here on YouTube, as well as streaming live over on Twitch, where I run pro clubs with the community. So if that's something you'd like to get involved with, now we've got cross-platform on FC24 as well. Come on over to the Twitch channel and get involved with the community pro clubs. They are an absolute blast. But if you're a returning viewer, firstly, thank you for coming back. You will know that we ran a successful career mode, I'd say, on FIFA 23. It was a really good realistic career mode where we ran Nottingham Forest for 4 seasons, 75 episodes, where in the final season we won a league and European double. I had an absolute blast making that series, and the love I got was so incredible. So I hope you all enjoy this new series on FC24. And as you can tell by the title and seeing these opening shots, the club I've decided to run a realistic career mode with for the first time on FC24 is Welsh side Wrexham AFC. And to be honest, how could I not? It's such a fairy tale story with this club. Taken over just a couple of years ago by celebrity duo Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. The club was previously fan owned after they went through hell with the owners before them, Alexander Hamilton, who basically they had a whole lot of issues. He basically wanted to liquidate the club, wanted to sell the grounds. He didn't care about the club at all, and the fans let him know that. And after numerous strikes, marches and so on from fans, which lasted years, he eventually was pressed into selling the club. And so Wrexham became a fan-owned club once again. So when Reynolds and McElhenney came in with the bid back in 2021, there was a lot of they were skeptical about selling, to a couple of people, from across the pond, America. What do they know about real football and stuff like this? But I think it was quickly seen that these two weren't just your classic over the seas owner who just want to make some money from a football club. They cared about this team, this city, and the history behind it. They have a Disney Plus documentary called Welcome to Wrexham, and it was so well documented there about how these two were so invested in this club. McElhenney in particular, he grew up in Philadelphia, which was just like Wrexham, a blue collar city. Everyone supported their local side, and he really got a feel of home in Wrexham. And although they looked at a couple other clubs, Wrexham was the one they wanted to go for, and they really pushed it. And the fans, they handed over their ownership of the club to these two, and it's they haven't looked back. It's been an absolutely brilliant Wrexham story. In their first season in charge, they finished second in the National League. I think they've got 98 points, just missed out on an automatic promotion, and then missed out in the playoffs. Last year, though, they smashed the league. 15 consecutive years away from the Football League, they returned, and they did it in style as well, winning the National League, and what a celebration it was as well. And it's just been an incredible story, and Wrexham have truly become a worldwide name. So it made sense for me to do this realistic career mode with Wrexham, and so that's what you're going to see here with our first FC24 realistic career modes. And as you'll see, a couple of new features on FC24 are the tactical vision. So when you go into managing career mode now, you get to choose a tactical vision that you want to implement on your team. So the style of play. And as you can see in the top right, I chose wing play because as you'll see when we look through the team, Wrexham play with a back 5, but their wing backs, are so important in their build-up play. So I thought wing play was the perfect tactical vision to implement into this team. And then another incredible feature as well that they've re-added to this game, obviously adding additional coaching staff was a feature back in a FIFA many years ago, and now they've reapplied it, adapted it to the modern game. But you can hire specific coaches to implement your play style. And so what this does is you hire a certain amount of staff. Obviously, the better staff cost more money. That's just natural. But they have a star rating as well. And you have an ideal star rating that you want to reach for each position: attack, midfield, defense, and goalkeeper. And then you have a star rating that you've attained. So the more coaches you bring in, the more likely you are to be able to implement your style of play onto the players in training. It's such a cool, intricate feature that they've brought into this game. I'm really a big fan of this. So we brought in one coach just to show you how it works. And we'll look more into this feature later on in the episode. But for now, getting back to the story of Wrexham as well, and the reason they've become such a worldwide name is, not only because of the status of Reynolds and McElhaney, they're two really famous actors. Also, not only because of their Welcome to Wrexham documentary on Disney Plus, but they've also got amazing sponsors. This season they're sponsored by Airline United. Last year they were sponsored by TikTok, and they remain sponsored by TikTok this season. So they truly have become a worldwide name, which is crazy for a non-league team or even a League Two team now to be known around the world. But that is the effect that McElhaney and Reynolds have had on this club and on the city as well. And if you haven't watched the documentary, I highly recommend it, because you get such a good feel of how invested they are in this club and in this city. And it's truly, you can't not back them. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited to run this realistic career mode with Wrexham. And my goal for this career mode is to continue the celebrity status and the success to this club. The world is now watching, and I want to bring success to Wrexham. I want to get them to the top in the Premier League, competing for titles, cups, anything. And so that will be the aim for this realistic career mode. It's going to be a long one, I know it, but I am very excited to get it going. As we run through the squad here, a bit of an aging squad, a lot of players in their late 20s, early 30s, a lot of players also whose contracts running out at the end of the season. So a lot of the squad are playing for their future. And I'm coming into this with, I don't have a deep knowledge of the squad. I know, the core players, but I'm open to everyone having a chance in this team. And we're going to send out some scouts. We're going to bring in some people as well, and, potentially sell some players, because this is a realistic career mode. And if you haven't seen my realistic career modes before, I will tell you that I try and make everything as realistic as possible. So sales of players, purchases of players. I'm not just going to sell players to any old club that come in for a bid. I will make it a realistic destination if I can. And also, I'm not going to bring in any old player. So Sergio Ramos at the moment is a free agent. I'm not going to try and bring in Sergio Ramos, because that is unrealistic. So yeah, you get the idea. As we look at the board's objectives for this season, within 2 seasons, they want us to bring in a youth player into the first team. They want us to win the League Two title, so no pressure there, as well as reaching the round of 16 in the FA Cup. And they want us to sign one crucial player that isn't from Wales, which I can do, although we don't have a massive budget, £2.6 million in the bank. Despite youth development being a low priority for the board, I'm going to make it a high priority for me. As we said before, the squad is aging. And so when you're going into a deep, realistic career mode, I think youth is the key. And so we're going to send out some scouts here. With not much money, you can't really bring in many players, so youth will be the key. We're going to send out 3 scouts. Matthew Bradbury is already in the club, so we're going to send him to Wales, because homegrown talent is always the way forward. And then we're going to set up with 2 more scouts as well. Bergvist, the Swede, and Mo, the Norwegian. We're going to send them out to America and Canada. Like we said, Wrexham's pool now is incredible. They're known all around the world, and with Reynolds being a Canadian-American, McElhaney being American, their pool over there is huge. There's no doubt about it. Wrexham played a pre-season tournament in America and had such a good turnout. So I'm going to try and dip into the pool of talent across the pond, and try and bring in some American and Canadian talent across to Wales. But yeah, like we said as well, we're sending a scout in Wales, because I always recommend having some homegrown talent in the club as well. We'll send out some, I'll scout some players as well. If we need to bring in some players, I will do that. But yeah, youth will be huge for me in particular. So as we look now more into the team strategy and the new features that we were talking about earlier, you'll see that there's a star rating. So wing play is our tactical vision, as we have already discussed. And then you'll see there's a star achievement called achieved, and then a star rating called ideal. So ideal is what they want you to have what will be an ideal star amount for your players, to understand the tactical vision and to reach it as quick as possible. And as we look through the coach list here, obviously the higher starred players, star coaches cost more per week, but we've got quite a budget because we're not really going to sign many players, so we've got a budget. I'm happy to spend some of the budget on coaching staff. We bring in Logan Swift. So as you'll see here, so if we add him to the attacking coaching staff here, he is 4-star along with Gibbons, who is 5-star. That means that we will have achieved 9-star rating, which is the ideal. So now our attacking players should be able to understand and reach the tactical vision of wing play as fast as possible, if that makes sense. And then looking through the coaching list as well, we're going to bring in a couple more coaches because we've still got a bit of a budget. There are a few that look pretty decent. I obviously want to bring in a midfield coach as well as a defensive coach. We bring in Alexander Pan, who we will apply to the defensive coaching team. So that is 4 stars achieved in the defensive role. The ideal number is 13. So if that makes sense, I think this is a really cool feature. It's so in depth now. It's not just you join a team, you change the formation, and everyone knows that formation and the style of play straight away. This is now going to be a long-term project. It's going to take some time to adapt and learn the way we play. And yes, Wrexham were playing with 5 at the back anyway, but they weren't necessarily playing wing play, for example. So I want to implement this certain style of play into the team. And as I run you through what will be the starting 11 for the first couple of games of the season anyway, just to see how the team runs. Stephen Fletcher, the veteran striker, 36 years old now, but still has so much experience and can add so much to this team. He is going to be my strike partner with Paul Mullin, who of course is an absolute gem up top for Wrexham. Smashed it in the National League last year. It's no secret what the Scouse can do. He is fantastic up top. But Stephen Fletcher is going to partner him. He's going to be a target man up top because we'll play with 5 at the back, because our wing backs will be so important in the system. I want us to have a target man up top as well. And James McLean, the Irish vet as well, what a signing he is for Wrexham. Ex-West Brom, ex-Stoke, a fiery, rapid, brilliant player on the wing whose delivery is class as well. So I think he is going to be a key feature of our team this season at left wing back. And then we've actually gone with Ford at the right wing back position. I like the look of him more than Barrett, I think it was. So we're going to test out Ford on the right wing back position and see how he does. Elliot Lee in the midfield. In real life, he's had a great start with Wrexham. I think he's scored 5 or 6 goals already in the campaign. One good thing is about this realistic career mode, as you will know, if you're returning viewers, I concede a lot of goals. I score a lot of goals. I can't do much about it. It was only in the 4th season with Forest that I think Henderson won the Golden Glove with us. Before then, we were conceding goals left, right and centre. But thankfully, in real life, in Wrexham's first 9 league games, there have been 40 goals scored, 20 goals scored, 20 goals conceded. So it's going to be an absolutely entertaining one. So that makes me feel a bit better about going into this realistic career mode, knowing that I'll probably score and concede a lot as well. And then I make a change in goal as well. Obviously, Ben Foster came out of retirement for Wrexham. He went into this season as well, but just realised after a few games he wasn't up to the standard. He re-retired, I guess. And then Mark Howard is now the goalkeeper. But I'm now going to put Arsenal loanee Arthur Okonkwo in goal instead of Howard. I just think he looks like a better all-round goalkeeper as well. So he's going to start between the sticks. We reject a couple of offers for Lee, Young, and a big bid from Norwich for Paul Mullin. Like I said, if a realistic offer comes in for a player that I'm willing to sell, I will listen to the offers. And then finally, if you are returning viewers, you will know that I do alter the sliders as well for a realistic career mode. I just think the default sliders aren't realistic as enough. So I affect stuff like shot error, pass error, because I think sometimes, too many goals go in, too many passes. There needs to be more stray passes. There needs to be more shots that go into row Z. I also up the injury frequency, but lower the severity slightly because, again, in a career mode, I just don't think you get enough injuries. And when you're a club like Wrexham playing 46 league games amongst many cup competitions as well, you are going to get injuries. It's just natural, and I don't want injuries, but I want it to be a realistic career mode, so I do up the injury frequency, but the severity I drop just slightly. If you would like to copy those or apply those to your FC24 career modes, feel free to take some screenshots or pause as well. But that will be it for today's episode, the first episode of the FC24 realistic career mode with Wrexham. In episode 2, we will kick off our league campaign hosting Barrow at the racecourse. I cannot wait to get this season underway. I hope you are as excited as I am. If you are, drop a like on the video, drop a sub as well. We're very close to 300 subs, and then let me know in the comments, what clubs are you going to be doing realistic career modes with, and if you think I should sign anyone in the transfer window. Well, I'll see you in episode 2 very soon. Enjoy your days. Peace.